Fanatics Fest is the real deal experience. Oh my God, Jake Paul. The kids love him, and then you have the legend, Mike Tyson. I got Jake Paul knocking him out. Even if I love Mike Tyson, he's Iron Mike. So get this, November 15th, 2024, and the fight world was on fire. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson finally went toe-to-toe in what could only be described as a blockbuster showdown at the AT&T Arena. This wasn't just any fight. It was a spectacle. Every seat was filled, and the energy? Insane. The biggest names in boxing, from Floyd Mayweather to Canelo Alvarez, were all there front and center. And let's not forget the A-list celebs. Yep, Hollywood turned out big time for this one. Actors, rappers, influencers. They were all packed into the arena just to watch Jake Paul finally get humbled. Jake walked into that ring oozing confidence, soaking up the spotlight, thinking it was going to be his moment. But Mike Tyson? He entered calm, composed, and completely unfazed. The guy was a living legend, and you could feel that energy. No antics, no showboating, just business. Tyson had this quiet intensity about him, like he had done this a million times before. Everyone in that arena knew one thing. Jake Paul was about to face the most dangerous 58-year-old on the planet, and things were about to get real. From the moment the bell rang, you could feel the electricity in the air. The arena was absolutely packed. You had A-listers everywhere, cameras flashing, and social media blowing up. And then boom! It's go time! Jake Paul came out looking confident, dancing on his feet, throwing a couple of light jabs to test the waters. But Tyson was calm. Almost too calm. Stalking Jake like he's done 1,000 times before. At 58, Tyson wasn't the same wrecking machine from his prime, but his presence was still terrifying. Every move he made, every step he took toward Jake, had this predatory energy. Jake was trying to keep his distance, using his footwork and jabs to stay out of Mike's range, but Tyson's timing was still sharp. He barely threw any punches in this round, but the few he did sent a clear message. He was waiting for the right moment to strike. As we hit round 2, Jake got a bit braver. He started mixing up his shots, throwing more combos, especially to Tyson's body. You could tell Jake had been working on his stamina and conditioning. He wasn't gassing out like in some of his earlier fights. But here's the thing, Tyson was just warming up. Every time Jake landed, Tyson would give him this nod. Like, okay, kid, I see you. Then, out of nowhere, Tyson caught Jake with a short left hook that had the crowd jumping. It wasn't enough to hurt Jake badly, but it made him backpedal fast. Tyson was starting to close the distance, and that's where the danger really began. Jake tried to reset, sticking to his jab and using his height and reach advantage. But Tyson was getting inside. The round ended with both men still standing, but you could feel the shift in momentum. Tyson was beginning to apply pressure, and Jake's nervous energy was creeping in. Round 3 is where things started heating up. Jake came out a little more defensive this time. You could tell that Tyson's pressure in the previous round got to him. He started circling more, trying to avoid those dangerous inside exchanges. But Tyson was hunting. He wasn't rushing in recklessly, but every time Jake got close to the ropes, Tyson would unleash these brutal body shots. And man, the sound of those punches? Bone-chilling. Tyson was breaking Jake down little by little. Jake did his best to counter, landing a solid right hand that had the crowd roaring, but Tyson ate it like a snack. That's the thing about Iron Mike. Even at his age, he can take a shot and keep marching forward. By the end of the round, Jake's strategy was clear. Survive and outlast. But the way Tyson was moving, that was going to be easier said than done. Round 4 was where Jake had his best moment. He came out with more confidence, landing some solid combinations. He was snapping that jab right in Tyson's face and even connected with a clean right hand that seemed to stun Mike for a second. The crowd went nuts. For a brief moment, it looked like Jake had a chance to turn the tide. But Tyson? Oh, he wasn't having any of it. After eating that shot, Tyson smiled. The kind of smile that says, "You messed up, kid." And then Tyson started marching Jake down again. Every second, he was getting closer, and Jake was starting to look uncomfortable. Tyson's head movement was sharp, and he was slipping punches like it was 1988. Jake was landing, but those shots weren't phasing the legend. Near the end of the round, Tyson unleashed a vicious combination to Jake's body, and you could see Jake starting to slow down. The body shots were doing damage, and Tyson was still coming forward. The round ended, but you could tell Jake was starting to feel it. Round 5. Tyson turned up the intensity. He was in full predator mode now. Jake was doing everything he could to stay away, but Tyson was cutting off the ring like a pro. Every time Jake tried to escape, Tyson was right there, closing the gap and throwing those heavy hooks to the body. Midway through the round, Tyson landed a massive left hook to Jake's ribs that visibly hurt him. Jake grimaced and backed off, trying to catch his breath, but Tyson smelled blood. The legend started throwing combinations upstairs, mixing up shots to the body and head. Jake was tough, though. He held on, trying to clinch whenever Tyson got too close. But by the end of the round, it was clear Tyson was wearing Jake down, and the end was coming. Round 6 was a nightmare for Jake Paul. Tyson was now fully in control, and Jake's energy was fading fast. His punches had lost that pop, and he was just trying to survive. Tyson, on the other hand, was like a freight train. He was relentless, walking Jake down, cutting off the ring, and unloading those vintage Tyson combinations. Every time Jake tried to clinch, Tyson would rip a hook to the body or uppercut him on the inside, and it was brutal. Jake was covering up, trying to weather the storm, but Tyson was landing at will. The crowd could sense it. A knockdown was coming. Near the end of the round, Tyson landed a devastating right uppercut that snapped Jake's head back. The only thing that saved him was the bell. Jake wobbled back to his corner, clearly hurt, and the crowd was buzzing. It was just a matter of time now. Here we are, round 7, the round that sealed the deal. From the moment the round started, Tyson was out for blood. Jake looked gassed, trying to move, but his legs just weren't there anymore. Tyson closed the distance, backed Jake into a corner, and started unloading with a flurry of hooks and uppercuts. It was vintage Tyson, pure aggression, pure power. Jake tried to fight back, but Tyson was too much. Then it happened. Tyson landed a brutal right hand, followed by a crushing left hook that sent Jake Paul crashing to the canvas. The arena erupted. Jake was down and he was hurt bad. The referee started the count and Jake was trying to get up, but his legs were like jelly. 10, 9, 8. Jake made it to his feet, but he was stumbling, barely able to stand. The referee took one look at him, waved it off, and the fight was over. Tyson wins by knockout in the 7th round. The fan reactions to Tyson's epic win and Jake Paul's crushing loss? Absolute chaos. The moment that ref waved it off in the 7th round, the entire arena erupted. People were literally jumping out of their seats, screaming at the top of their lungs. Twitter, it was on fire, memes, hot takes, everything blowing up. Fans had been waiting for this. Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed boxing bad boy, finally getting a taste of real defeat. And not just any defeat. Getting knocked out by the one and only Mike Tyson. The internet couldn't handle it. You had the diehard Jake Paul supporters who were absolutely shook. They were posting things like, "Yo, Jake still put up a good fight," or "He's going to come back stronger, just wait." But let's be real, that was hard to back up after seeing him eat that canvas. Some fans were straight up in denial, acting like it didn't even happen. But the majority, oh, they were feasting on Jake's loss. His haters had been waiting for a moment like this for years, and now it had finally happened. They flooded social media with GIFs, clips, and hilarious comments like, "Jake got TKO'd," and "This is the KO we've been waiting for." Then there were Tyson's fans, the OGs, the ones who've been watching him since the 80s. They were loving every second of it. For them, it was like watching the GOAT prove that no matter how old he gets, he's still a beast. They were hyping him up online, calling him Iron Mike, the real baddest man on the planet, and a living legend. It was pure love for Tyson. You could see fans commenting things like, "This is why you never doubt Mike Tyson," and "Even at 58, Tyson can still throw hands."